Hi, congratulations on your new RV. We're really excited for you. Please make sure before you're signing that you bring the following items with you. If you're a cash buyer, please make sure that you bring a cashier's check, no personal checks at time of signing, or you may bring actual cash. If you're a finance customer, please make sure that you bring proof of insurance listing your specific lien holder. If you need that information, please call us ahead of time. Also, make sure that you bring all valid driver's license of all persons that will be listed on the title. If you have a trade that you're trading in with us, please make sure that you bring your 10-day payoff as well as your title and all persons who will be listed on the title of that trade. Arrive 30 minutes early before your appointment time so we can properly inspect your unit, and also make sure that you have the fridge on and running prior to arrival. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at 810-686-0710. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center. Here to congratulate you on your purchase of your Jayco Greyhawk Prestige 31 FP motorhome. You guys have picked a beautiful unit. I'm here to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A couple things I want you to take into consideration. I've ran your awning out and your slide out just to show you how much room you need. You don't need much for this slide. It's kind of a short slide. But make sure you leave yourself enough room for that to be able to come out unhindered. Nothing in the way of it going in or out, and preferably nothing hanging over top of it, even though you have slide toppers. Then I want you to think about where your power and water hookups are. It's a little easier to see with your slide back in, but down here is where your power hookup is. You also have cable and 110 there. 30 amp service at the end of that 30 amp should you need it is a 30 to 110 adapter. Should you need to plug it in at home. And then where your water is. Your water is hooked up here on the back of the unit on your off camp side all the way at the rear. So park accordingly so that you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once we parked, we'll pretend the slide's back in. We'll actually run it back in when we go back in here. First thing you're going to do is level your unit. Now about this auto leveling system. Emergency brake must be on. And key in the ignition to turn the power. Come back over here. Auto leveling system. Turn it on here. Let me make sure my keys are turned all the way forward. There we go. Now it's on.
I know they don't like to do that, but we have stuck around anything.
Here's your auto leveling system. Once it's on, you simply hit auto level. That's going to run your auto leveling jacks down and get the whole unit nice and level for you. Once you got unit level, we'll go ahead and plug in that power. And now we'll hook up the water. Come back around here to your docking station. Jayco made it pretty simple. All your directions are right here. We're at the campsite, so we're hooking up to city fixtures. Point this one at number 2, point the other one at number 6. 2 and 6. Take your water pressure regulator. Always use this when putting water into the unit. What it's going to do is going to reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in your unit. Always use this when putting water in up here. City water connection. Hook your hose up, hook your water pressure regulator up, but don't turn your hose on yet. We're going to find your hot water heater. So coming over onto your campsite, down here in the middle is your hot water heater. All we're going to do at this point is make sure that our drain plug is back in. You may have left it out from the last time you were camping. Take a socket, turn that on there nice and tight. Then you can go ahead and turn on your hose. After your hose has been on for a little while, you're going to go ahead and pull on this pressure release valve. That's going to release air out of the lines until you see a nice steady flow of water coming out of here. Once you do, you know your hot water heater is full and that you can light it from indoors. Two different ways to light that. one with electricity, one with gas. Let's say you're going camping and you're dry docking. We're going back around here to the docking station. You're not gonna be hooked up to city tank fill. You just want to fill your tanks and go country. Point is look for country fill. 1 to the left, 6 to the right. Fill it up the same way. Burp your hot water heater the same way. Just remember, whenever you're using your potable water, you fill it up in the same spot here. Whenever you use your potable water is when you're going to want to turn on your water pump. Once that's full, go ahead and unplug it for potable water. Different ways to set up to sanitize. About covers everything right there. Got our water and electricity hooked up. Let's go ahead and walk you around the unit and show you a few other things. To the right here is your black tank flush. Talk about that when leaving the campsite. There's a little light. There's where you turn on your water pump if you're using potable water. You also have an outdoor shower hose, a handle for changing your water filter. Back here are your low point drains. You'll open those up and open that up when leaving the campsite. Down here is your black and gray holding tanks. We'll talk about those when leaving the campsite as well. Also on this side, fueling station. Storage. Tons of storage on this unit. You do have lighting in here. Again, storage for your power and cable hookup. Another storage and your own generator. I'll start that up from inside so you can hear that running nicely. On your slides, these are called wipers. They have what's called a wiper fluid that you can apply to these. It's going to keep them nice and pliable and working well. Help add to the longevity of the life of these. That's very important. Come around to your campsite. You have your outdoor speakers. This is where your propane fills. Your outdoor TV, which I'll get the keys and open that up. More storage here. Hot water heater. This is access panel to the back of your fridge. More storage. A lot of outdoor storage on this unit. Here, and your big one back here. Ladder, go up and check your seams, caulk as needed. And your accessory hitch. That about covers everything on the outside of the unit. Let's take a walk on the inside. Let's start by talking about your awning. I didn't run it all the way out. I wanted to show you how far to run it out. So you're only going to want to... Oh, no controls are going to work now until I shut the key off. Remember that on your slides and everything, awning as well. So you're only going to want to run this awning out until you see that white flap fall down to 90 degrees. When you see your bar and your lights, you know you're out far enough. Also, real quickly on this control panel is your main power. You can turn on and off to the unit. This is your indoor outdoor speakers, your awning in and out, your power step, and your awning light. Up above that is your fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camping with you knows that the fire extinguisher is by the entry doorway in case of an emergency. Coming up here on the wall is your lights for your top bunk. 110 and USB port there. Coming over on this wall, control panel. Up here's where you start your generator. Here's you turn on your inverter. Here's your slide. I'm going to retract that and show you real quickly how that slide comes in and back out. What I like to call a short slide, so it comes in real quick. And we'll run that back out. You see how important it is that to make sure the whole hallway and aisleway is clear when leaving the campsite. Here's where you check your levels, your battery, your fresh tank. When filling up your potable water, this is one way you can tell it's full. Come in here and hit your fresh tank, watch for that to come full. Black and gray tanks. Tank heaters, if you're in inclement weather and you think your tank heaters might be freezing, there's for your pads for that. Another place to turn on the water pump. Here's where you turn on your hot water heater if you're hooked up to gas. Here's where you hook it up if you're hooked up to electricity. On the ceiling, your antenna to turn and smoke alarm. Coming through your unit, let's talk about your fridge. Hold on here to the left to turn it on. Here's your modes. You're going to have auto, which means when you're plugged in, it's running off electricity. As soon as you unplug it, goes to gas. There's auto gas. There's just electricity. There's just gas. Here's where you change your temperatures, 1 through 5. Shut that back off. Over here is your inverter control system. Tells what you're using right now. You're hooked up to 30 amp service. Down here is where you turn on your heat, fan, or air. Turn it back to heat. Turn it up a little. Turn it on now. No one burn your gas off, so I'll shut that off. Some interior and exterior lights. All kinds of lighting to use around here. Down here on the floor, below your fridge is your 12 volt carbon monoxide detector. The reason I mentioned it's 12 volt, it's always running off your battery. So if you're not running and say you're going to be gone from the motorhome for the day and you don't want this to run down your battery, use your battery disconnect, house battery, and keep that from running your battery down. 110 here. Coming over to your fridge, you got the self-explanatory microwave. You have a light, an exhaust fan, high and low on that, surface light high and low. This glass top makes an excellent backsplash. You have a panel light here. As you notice, as you go from off to light, it turns red, hit your spark, and when your gas is on, that'll come on. Over here's panel light, same thing on the stove. Hit it to light, hit your spark over here. There's your gas. It is on. First one should go. There it goes. Put that all off. Coming into your bathroom. One thing I want to mention here, you do have a light and a fan that you can hand crank open here or hand turn on as well. You have a 110 in the bathroom. On the side of your bed, a couple of access panels. This one is your breaker box, and over here is your fuse box. Looks like you got mostly 15s. I highly recommend having a handful of those with you when you go camping. Next to your bed, 110 and your own thermostat back here. Second AC system. Lighting. Television. Now this lifts straight up. There's where your plug-in cable goes in. Your furnace release. And some storage up underneath your bed that's accessible from outdoors. Your other 2 televisions for the bunks. That about covers everything on the inside. You do have this little table extension for a little more prep area. Your buckled in seating. This will also jackknife down to a bed. Lift up the front, pull it back towards you back to a sofa. Same thing on your table. Your table will come down. You lift it up off the back and bring it down, and then bring your back cushions on top of this. That'll make another bed. And your other bed up here. Simply pull this cushion up here and then use your ladder. TV and DVD player right there. That about covers everything on the inside. Let's act like we're leaving the campsite. What I recommend is coming down and doing your auto leveling system again. When you turn it on, you can simply hit retract, and it's going to retract all of your leveling jacks. You got your leveling jacks up. Go through the unit and shut off all the lights that don't turn on down here. And then make sure nothing is going to impede the slide from coming in. Nothing in the hallway. This is folded in. The drawers are closed. The bed is pushed up. All the bedroom doors are closed. You just want to be really safe with bringing this slide in. And as I said, it only takes a minute. So I'm going to go through and shut off all the lights, and then I'll bring the slide in. We'll act like we're leaving the campsite. Alright, so with everything closed up, close your door, lock and deadbolt your exterior door. Go over to your hot water heater, bleed the water out of the lines this time. Remove your drain plug with a socket preferably, because that's going to be hot water coming out of there. And we're going to head around, unhook any cable, any water, and your electricity. And head on up to the dump station. While up there, you can go ahead and pull these low point drains. Or you can do it at campsite, depends on where you're camping at. You're just draining waters out. So open those low point drains. Then you're gonna head up to the dump station. While you're there, you're gonna hook up the sewage hose. First thing you do is pull your black handle. Now when it sounds like your black tank is no longer draining, you're gonna come back over to your tank flush. Open this up. Again, use your water pressure regulator and hook the hose up there. With your black tank handle open, go ahead and turn that hose on and run that for about 5 minutes. That's going to wash out your black tank and clean all that nastiness out of there. After about 5 minutes, go ahead and unhook your hose and water pressure regulator. Close your black tank and open your gray tank. That's going to be your cleaner waters, your sinks and showers. That's going to clean your sewage hose out for you. Then you're going to come back here where it says squeeze, squeeze, and store your sewage hose right in there. Nice sanitary place for it. Again, we thank you guys for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this Greyhawk for many years to come. Happy camping.